Welcome to the advanced hangout today on tapping techniques to create instantaneous healing. So today we're going to be talking about using EFT and tapping techniques with conscious language, with powerful words, with essential oils to address emotional patterns and create instantaneous healing in the body. So I welcome everyone who's watching. Hello to Cassandra, who's joined us inside the hangout.
And Annika on YouTube.
And who else?
Annika is on YouTube.
And Annika on YouTube. Thank you for watching.
Oh.
Very excited to be here.
And hi, there's my head.
And Crystal, my wife, is here. She's moderating. So if you have any questions, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this at a future date, just go ahead and type in your questions below the video on YouTube or inside the chat, and I'll get to your questions in real time.
Actually, if you're watching right now, the chat is on the right side of the screen.
Good. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, the chat live, the chat is to your right. So today we're going to be talking about using EFT with conscious language, with essential oils to create instantaneous healing. And I also have a very special offer for you at the end of the hangout to go further with essential oils. So stay tuned to the end of the hangout where I'm going to be sharing some free video training on emotional alchemy with essential oils and how to use essential oils consciously and constructively in your practice. So this information I'm teaching today is for you if you're just choosing to transform fear into faith or heal old patterns and transform limiting beliefs. This information I'm teaching is for you if you're just working on yourself. We also have practitioners watching today, so this information is for you if you're serving others in the healing arts, if you're a coach, if you're working through nutritional endocrinology, if you're helping to empower and inspire people to heal. Eventually you're going to encounter blocks. You're going to notice word patterns or repeating symptoms related to I can't, and it's hard, and struggle. And wouldn't it be cool to have a technique where you can start dissolving struggle into ease to create instantaneous healing? So today we're going to be talking. Stand by just for a sec. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had another player going there. So imagine you being able to work with some of your clients and transform struggle into ease, feeling stuck in your life to clear, and being able to heal those emotions in real time so that as they apply tools and technologies, say like supplements and new life practices and cleansing, all of this is easier. And yes, all of this can be done with tapping techniques. And the way I'm going to be teaching you today is I'm going to be teaching you powerful word patterns, really upgraded word patterns that you have yet to hear because of my conscious language background, because of the work I've done with Robert Tennyson Stevens, the founder of Conscious Language and also Sacred Body Language Translations. This work is very powerful to upgrade how we speak to ourselves and how we speak through patterns by knowing that what emotions turn into, how we transform fear into faith and sadness into joy and doubt into self-trust and self-confidence, and the exact word patterns that are the most powerful to engage feeling. And with more feeling, we create more healing. And so I'm going to start by reviewing some of the material that I presented at the Shine Conference about the 3 levels of ourself. Then I'm going to go over 3 different patterns. We're going to talk about first struggle and I can't and what that turns into, and we may do some tapping on it if it's appropriate. The next pattern is fear and faith and really certainty and confidence and courage. And we're definitely going to tap on fear because fear is an important pattern to address and learn how to transform it into faith in real time. And then we're also going to talk about resentment and how that affects the physical body, and then resentment into forgiveness. We'll definitely do some tapping on resentment. And the underlying principle of how to create instantaneous healing is basically being able to see perfection. So if you're choosing to create instantaneous healing in yourself or in others, I'm asking you to see your own perfection or to see the perfection in others. And this is a big stretch for a lot of practitioners, and particularly if you have a lot of negative beliefs, we tend to focus on what's wrong or what needs to be fixed or corrected or upgraded or enhanced. When you're choosing to create instantaneous healing, your job is to hold a space, a vision of joy when there's sadness. Your job is to hold a feeling and an experience of faith, and faith returned when there's fear up. Your job is to be forgiveness in action, to be so much kindness, mercy, and love in action that you create an experience of forgiveness when you observe resentment. And so this is the technology of creating instantaneous healing, is being able to see perfection. And then through the tools I teach you, through essential oils, through breath, through tapping techniques, and through conscious language, you're basically just exercising the 3 levels of yourself to call that forth. And it's such a liberating attitude when you're a healer, healing yourself or healing others, to vote their victory, and see perfection in yourself or others. When you know what emotions turn into and you can move through the pattern into its full return, that creates miracles of healing. And we know that the miracles happen in our hormone balances, neurotransmitters. Tapping the body lowers blood pressure. Tapping the body lowers cortisol in the body. Tapping the body increases kinesthetic and nerve conduction and helps balance sympathetic override to parasympathetic. So we know tapping can do that. When we create more feeling, which creates more healing, and we know what's returning, and we speak all the way through until our full victory of healing, our full return of faith, of joy, of certainty, of trust. That is what's going to create instantaneous healing, is seeing perfection. The most important question you can ask when you're working on a condition in yourself or others is, what does this condition turn into? If there's an emotional cause, what does that emotion turn into? If there's a physical cause, what happens when they fully heal this symptom and condition? What's the new thought, the new attitude, the new belief, the new feeling? And what's keeping us from where we are, stuck, to clear, is limiting emotions. Remember, for you to make a positive, sustained change, and also for you to create positive change in others, 80% of that fuel, 80 to 90%, it's been said, comes from your emotional body, or what you feel and believe. And so removing these limiting emotions through tapping techniques, upgrading them with conscious language, and powerfully dissolving them with essential oil technologies, and doing all this at the same time, can and will create instantaneous healing. It's very, very powerful. I'll start with a story. I was working with a doctor, an MD, about a month ago, and she's been diagnosed type 2 diabetic for 10 years, actually since 2001. And so I'm working with her on a current stressor in her life, overwhelm. We clear the overwhelm. What's underneath the overwhelm is sadness. And so we start working on the sadness. And it turns out that her father passed away on September 11th, 2001. And her dad was her hero. Her dad was her victory voter. Her dad was like one of the most special people in her life. And when her father passed, she didn't fully love and let go of the grief, and she suppressed the grief into her solar plexus, pancreas, and adrenals. And then the grief of her father passing and not loving him and letting him go eventually manifested as type 2 diabetes on an emotional level. Now, yes, there were lifestyle components. Yes, there were foods and liquids and substances that contributed to it, but the first deviation was her father passing away, and the grief was eating away at her sweetness. Diabetes is not enough sweetness in our life, and that sweetness can be consumed by anger, by bitterness, by grief, by sadness, a lack of joy, a lack of sweetness. And so by the end of our tapping session, our coaching session, she discovered that the miracle of her healing was forgiving and letting her father go. And the seeds of her diabetes were planted at the death of her father. And that's when she began to lose the sweetness in her life. And that emotional block started to constrict those endocrine glands, and then she began to manifest type 2. And so now that she's been learning emotional intelligence and healing her emotions and aligning the 3 levels of the self here, getting into alignment with her feelings, her body is healing much more rapidly. She's starting to balance her blood sugar much more effectively by clearing the grief and finding the joy and sweetness again. And so I just share that story with you because it was really powerful understanding for me at a whole new level of what can potentially cause blood sugar imbalances, grief, and overwhelm, and how I was able to help her clear that through EFT and tapping, and then using also essential oils internally and topically to help sustain positive change. So before we go into the primary emotions and what they turn into, let's talk about the 3 levels of the self. And Crystal's going to chime in if we need anything to share. So if you have questions or comments that you want to share today, please type them in the chat on the right here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right here.
Cassandra said that was really helpful hearing that story.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a very powerful story. One thing to understand, Cassandra, and for everybody watching, is that every physical body condition, every physical symptom or what we call a disease, is initiated and reflected in our emotional body. Everything begins as energy first and then manifests into the physical. And this is a spiritual law that just takes time to fully understand, is that energy is primary, form is secondary. Spirit becomes form. The word becomes flesh. And so as we identify these emotional patterns and tap them out of the emotional body and transform them, it changes the cause, which was an emotional block. Every physical body condition is initiated or reflected in the emotional body. This is why we learn to tap. This is why we learn conscious language. This is why we learn essential oils, so we can powerfully begin to transform all of these conditions in real time. And in order to do that effectively, it's important to understand the 3 levels of ourself. So everyone say with me, I feel.
I feel.
I think.
I think.
I am.
I am.
I feel.
I feel.
I think.
I think.
I am.
I am.
I think I feel.
I think I feel.
So a lot of people have stuck emotions. They're in the I think I feel place. And so I feel is subconscious. So how do you know you have a subconscious mind? Is because you have feelings. And even if you're very intellectual, let's say you're a scientist or an engineer, you still have feelings. You just may not be able to put them into words. Let's say you're a watery, emotional, like kinesthetic coach or dancer or a musician. You feel strongly. You have passion. You have fire. So wherever you are in your personality, everyone has a subconscious mind because we all have an emotional body. We all have feelings. And the reason diseases set in and become chronic is because if an emotion in the body is suppressed, if we suppress an emotion, it gets expressed out into a physical symptom. And because the body is beautifully designed, every organ is a window into our emotions, every chakra has a personal level of power. We can suppress specific emotions and by design know how they will be expressed out into the body. And so I feel, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we go into these 3 patterns and tapping on them and clearing them. So I feel is subconscious. I think and I speak is your conscious self. So we all have a certain level of awareness of being, awareness of our thinking, and we all have a certain level of awareness of our feeling world. I am is the 3rd aspect of ourself, and that is our superconscious mind. So I am and superconscious is where intuition comes from. It's where our mission and purpose comes from in life. So our superconscious self is the you that will never die, and the you that is never born, and the you that will never die. It is the eternal you. It is the part of yourself that you feel sometimes more than you perceive as a visual or an auditory. Sometimes you get a feeling from intuition, and it's actually coming from superconscious. Your superconscious self, the best way to describe it, the best way I've heard from one of my teachers, Mary Miller, your superconscious self is the you that is never born and the you that will never die. It is also the
so much for joining my community and requesting.
It is also the you that is eternal. And so think of your superconscious self as also where all healing comes from. And so when we can see perfection, when we know what emotions turn into, when we can express fully from our subconscious self consciously in real time, we create alignment of these three levels of the self. And in that place of alignment, miracles and magic can happen. This is the technology of healing and instantaneous healing. It's creating the alignment of the superconscious, the conscious, and the subconscious self, all in thought, word, and feeling. And conscious language with tapping is a way to do that. It's a way to really empower alignment. And one of the principles of healing what you feel that's been subconscious or suppressed is you got to name it before you can change it. So this isn't about focusing only on what's positive. A lot of people who first learn tapping, they're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to program fear in my body. No. When we're saying, even though I feel fear and even though I feel anger or sadness, as we're naming the emotion, naming the feeling empowers the transformation. So you got to name it before you can change it, because you're going from suppressed to expressed. And you're beginning to express that feeling in real time. Tapping is a modality or technology for you to express it more powerfully, name it more specifically. What is the cause, the core, the record, and the effect of that emotion? Look at tapping techniques as a way of feeling more, connecting more to your emotions, connecting more to your memories, and what's going on in real time. And then as you name it, then we want to transform it. We want to transform fear into faith, sadness into happiness and joy. Question?
Yeah, the Annika's question from YouTube is, and I know you'll get to this later, I'm just going to ask it so you can reassure everyone that you're going to get to this. Can you link the emotions to the organ that's impacted if the emotion is suppressed?
Yes.
So I know we're going to talk about 3 specific ones today. Yeah,
this book, Sacred Body Language Translations, is a great introductory course or introductory manual to understand where emotions get stuck in the body. It's level 2 of our Mastery Systems curriculum, and so what I'm going to be teaching you today is a very simplified version of what this book can teach. But on page 12 of this book is a chart where it shows different organ systems and different emotional patterns and how they express through the organs and the endocrine glands. And so this is a good reference book. Keep in mind, though, what was her name?
Annika.
Keep in mind, Annika, that emotions don't make sense. We are all vibrationally unique. And so I have invested 15 years of my life studying the language of energy through multiple systems. I really love conscious language and body language because it's very simple and exact. The word expresses in 3 words or less where the deviation is. And so learning these 2 systems first is really kind of the short, direct path. And because we're all vibrationally unique, you will learn to have a perspective around the uniqueness of yourself and others, and you'll be able to translate yourself and others with more clarity as you learn about uniqueness and unique vibrations, because we all grow up with different belief systems and circumstances, genetic and experiential patterns. And so anger in one person may express out in a different way than anger in another person, according to symptomology. And so it doesn't always equal each other, is what I'm choosing to say. What I'm choosing to really express is that because we're all vibrationally unique, we need a coach sometimes to keep inquiring and asking questions to see how that anger and resentment has expressed out in that person's body vibrationally, because we're so different in vibration. And so, for example, arthritis is often feeling unloved in a relationship based in codependence. And so when someone has arthritis, they might feel anger or blame someone for not loving them, for not feeling loved in partnership. And yet, gout, which is another form of inflammation in the joints, that could be hate in partnership, hating someone. Very, very similar inflammatory patterns in the joints, but slightly different emotional patterns expressed. Rashes in the body, like eczema, psoriasis, is extreme irritation with what you feel, and it might be anger inward or anger with others, unhealthy boundaries. So it's all 3 of these symptoms are rooted in anger, and yet some of them are anger through blame, some of them are anger through hate, some of them are anger irritation, by not establishing healthy boundaries with others through codependence. And so anger can express itself many different ways. And so we're all vibrationally unique. So to create instantaneous healing, see perfection in yourself and others. Know that on some level, we are all, basically we don't know what we don't know on some level. Carl Jung said about the unconscious and subconscious mind, until we bring into the conscious mind what is unconscious, the outer world will rule our lives and we will call it fate. So the subconscious and unconscious is vast, and there's a lot of stuff that may be hidden that we get to express in our lives. Some of it is genetic, some of it is experiential. A lot of it has to do with our relationships, what's between us in partnerships. So you're not going to get all of it in one tapping session, or even a couple dozen tapping sessions. I've been tapping on myself for 15 years with a lot more discipline and repetition in the past 3 years. And what I've discovered is that the more you do it, the more it works. The more alignment you get, the more expression you have, the easier it is for you to feel your feelings. So using tapping techniques often on yourself or with your clients can annihilate fear as a negative neural pathway and replace it with more faith, which is a positive expression or a transmutation of fear. So it's nice to have this tool in your tool belt to use tapping to really start anchoring in through repetition positive change. So we're going to start, the first pattern we're going to start with, and please give me your questions and comments because it's really helpful to have these questions when they come up. So the first emotional pattern we're going to talk about is struggle. This is hard. I can't. It's hard.
I got it.
So when you have a chronic repeating symptom that transforms into a disease, let's say you've been struggling with some disease or symptom for more than a year or two, and what happens through struggle is I can't, it's hard, I can't, it's hard. These thoughts begin to kind of repeat themselves in your mental and emotional body. A thought repeated upon itself enough becomes a limiting belief or a positive virtue. So, I can repeated enough becomes strength, courage, confidence. I can't repeated enough becomes doubt, struggle, and really, it's hard. Yeah, and it's a fact, and I can prove it. So a lot of people have these belief systems, a belief system believed in. The way struggle, continuous struggle and thoughts of I can't manifest in the body is through lymphatic congestion. So that could be immune dysfunction. It could be problems losing weight. Struggling with weight loss is a lymphatic, a thickening of the lymph. It could be a lot of also problems with the gallbladder because the lymphatic system drains into the gallbladder. So a lot of gallbladder issues have their roots in struggle and I can't and resentment. So it might be I won't and I can't. And so you'll find that I can't and it's hard has a lot of other emotions wrapped around it. But when you can take I can't and make it into I can and then tap out the struggle, tap out the feelings of being stuck and move from struggle to this is easy, or I choose to make it this easy. So repeat after me. I choose to make this fun and easy.
I choose to make this fun and easy.
Repeat after me. I choose to make my healing fun and easy.
I choose to make my healing fun and easy.
I choose to make my business fun and easy.
I choose to make my business fun and easy.
I choose to make my wife fun and easy. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke I say to her sometimes. And I choose to make my healing, my business fun and easy. Everyone say I can.
I can.
I can heal my body.
I can heal my body.
So let's say we start to tap. Let's say we start tapping on struggle. And we're working with struggle, and everyone can just start tapping right here. And we'll just explore the value of tapping with struggle. So we'll just start saying, even though I've been struggling with my health.
Even though I've been struggling with my health.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself just the way I am.
I love and accept myself just the way I am.
And even though I feel like I've been struggling,
even though I feel like I've been struggling,
I can love the struggle and I can let it go.
I can love the struggle and I can let it go.
All this struggle in my mind and body, I let it go.
All this struggle in my mind and body, I let it go.
All this struggle in my mind and body, I let it go.
All the struggle in my mind and body, I let it go.
Under the eyes, and I choose to make my healing fun and easy.
And I choose to make my healing fun and easy.
Take a deep breath in. Remember, I can is the doorway of self-permission. Keep tapping right here. And I can and I choose is just the reversing of I can't and struggle. So I choose to make my healing fun and easy if the struggle is with healing. And I choose to make my healing fun and easy. And after you choose to make it fun and easy, I can heal my body. Tap right here. I can heal my body.
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 All this struggle, I let it go.
All this struggle, I let it go.
I can heal my body.
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 I can and I will heal myself.
I can and I will heal myself.
So now we're moving from I can, spleen lymphatic, to I will, which is thyroid. And so sometimes you might jump up an octave and go, I can and I am healing my body. I can and I will heal my body. And you just go, first you name it and then you change it. You just tap all the way through it. And so after we've identified the struggle and tapped through it, we might start again right here. I can heal my body.
I can heal my body.
And then specificity brings feeling. So if you have specific struggles, when you can name it with specificity, you can reverse it with more feeling. So I can heal my body. I can heal my digestion. I can heal my heart. I can heal my emotions. I can heal my relationships. I can heal my finances.
Relationship with my father.
I can heal my relationship with my father. I can, I can, I can. And I can is what's returning when there's been struggle. I can, when we're tapping it in with specificity, is what's really programming the nervous system and well as programming the emotional body to give yourself permission to. Everyone repeat after me. Say again, I can.
I can.
I give myself permission to.
I give myself permission to.
Those words are the same thing. When you're saying, I can't, with repetition, it's a belief system believed in, which holds back healing. As you begin to reverse and do I can, I choose to make this easy. I can do this. I can heal my body. I can heal my digestion. I can heal my heart. I can, I can, I can. What you're doing in words is giving yourself and your subconscious mind permission to. Now here's the thing about struggle. I'm going to come in a little bit and talk to you all listening. Struggle is hard. And if you've been struggling, you're working with someone that's been struggling a whole lot, they may need a couple thousand I cans in feeling, 50 to 100 I cans in repetition with powerful tapping, with powerful feeling to reverse 5 to 10 years of struggle. Does that make sense? I can't, believed in, as a negative neural pathway in the nervous system, requires a lot of I cans with powerful feeling and commitment to reverse that belief system. This is where tapping is magical. Because as we're tapping away struggle and replacing it with I can, we're accelerating the reversal by the neurological response in the body. And with the right coach, you coaching yourself or someone coaching you, sometimes when you're working with yourself, you got to fake it until you make it. It means you just got to keep saying I can, I can, I can. Every day I can. Write down I can. Put I can up. I can, I can. Hey, guess what? I can do that. I can do this. I can, I can, I can. And with enough repetition, those I cans will permanently heal the struggle. And so it doesn't just happen in one tapping session or one powerful decree. It may take a few dozen tapping sessions or a few dozen really powerful decrees of self-confidence and self-worth to replace struggle. And so that's where repetition is the mother of perfection. Remember, your subconscious mind, your subconscious, your feeling world responds to repetition and deep feeling. So tapping often on struggle will eventually get you your goal and your outcome. Finding your I cans and saying them with specificity will eventually strengthen the lymphatic system and the immune system. So I can't weakens the immune system, I can strengthens the immune system. So let's take this to another level. When people have been struggling, and let's say you want to start rebounding, which is the easiest form of movement, low impact on the joints, and it more powerfully moves the lymphatic system than any other form of exercise, including walking. Rebounding is more powerful than walking. Breathing is the primary lymphatic pump. Rebounding with conscious breath is a physical activity if I can. Everyone take a breath. So let's say you have a client who's been struggling with lymphatic, immune dysfunction, and weight loss, and you want to empower a physical activity if I can. Encourage rebounding with I can affirmations. And that creates an action of I can because it's pumping the lymphatic system. Hydration, keeping the lymph fluid and moving. It strengthens I cans. Hydrating, breathing, rebounding on a daily basis is the activity of I can, which even if there's lots of struggle, there are activities we can do to accelerate the power of I can. So the first thing to do is definitely tap out the struggle. Change that pattern in your body. Start using I can more in your dialogue with self and others, and then create activities of I can, like rebounding and optimal hydration. That further reinforces the thought and the feeling of I can. And so it works both ways. Changing what you think, I can't to I can, changes what you say to yourself and others, but also changing what you do, your life practices, can have an inward effect in what you think. So there are activities, but each one of these emotional states has a positive activity or expression.
Annika asked, when you're tapping, can the words you use be thought? Can they be said silently? For example, I mean, not all the time, but if you're in a situation where there's a bunch of people around you or something like that, and it's best for you really to do it silently, can it be done silently?
Yes, yeah. If you're in a public place, or you're kind of sitting in the in a public environment, and you just want to start tapping right here or right here, you can do the whole thing silently. Now, I'll let you know, Annika, it's not as powerful as speaking the words out loud, because the one thing that makes humans different from plants, minerals, and animals is our power to create words. And so using your words consciously is more powerful. And that being said, it's not better than. So you can do it silently or you can do it out loud. Just putting your feelings into words has a little bit deeper impact into the subconscious mind. Now, I have done a lot of tapping silently. And there are times in your self-tapping or when you're tapping with others that you just want to be silent for a while and breathe and let the feeling flow of positive change. There are times when you start using words, but then you move into silence and then back into words. So, there are times to use words and there are times to be silent.
And the key of what you just said is that the feeling is moving through.
Yes, the feeling is the secret, and the words with specificity will create more feeling than just saying it silently. And both are effective and both are useful. So we talked about I can't to I can, struggle transforming into ease. Everyone say this is easy.
This is easy.
This is easy.
This is easy.
I choose to make this fun and easy.
I choose to make this fun and easy.
When you find yourself really stuck in some area of your life, you say that statement, and it's almost like you laugh at yourself because you're like, why was I so stuck? I choose to make this fun and easy. There are times, and there are people watching right now who have experienced this in the session. Like, wait a minute. Okay, I choose to make this fun and easy. Okay, cool. And just that statement is gold when you feel stuck or you've been struggling with a lot of things in your life. I choose to make this fun and easy. The first time I heard that, I laughed out loud because it was such a 180-degree turn from where I was emotionally. When you think and feel I can't and you believe it, as soon as you someone say, I choose to make this fun and easy, it lightens up the struggle. And all we need to do is sometimes lighten up a little bit to move I can't into I can, struggle into ease, stuck into clear. So now we're going to talk about fear. Oh, by the way, thank you for essential oils that help with Idaho balsam fir, RC, and Raven. These two are lung blends. The lung, through respiration, moves lymphatic. So anytime we can oxygenate the respiratory system and bring more oxygen into our breath, the more ICANS easily return. And so if you've been having struggle and a lot of ICANS, you can take RC or Raven and you can start rubbing it on your tapping points lightly. And then you can tap with these oils. Essential oils have frequency, oxygen, and divine intelligence. And so RC and Raven, along with some of the evergreens like balsam fir and spruce, applied topically to the body, will supercharge a tapping session. It will supercharge an affirmation or prayer. Essential oils, through my research in quantum physics, essential oils amplify prayer. And because tapping is a tool that's integrating thought, word, and feeling, adding an essential oil to a tapping session amplifies feeling in the prayer or the word entering the body. Now, we also know that there are certain chemicals in essential oils called monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes. These chemicals in the biochemistry of essential oils penetrate the cells, and they can change DNA expression. And so when we line up these oils like RC and Raven with a powerful tapping session, the oils can carry the I cans and the I ams and the I wills deeper into the body. So if you have access to Young Living oils and you have some oils, try applying the oils sometimes right before you start to tap on an emotion. And through the topical application and the breathing in of the oils during a tapping session, it supercharges, amplifies, and enhances the healing and transformation of that emotion. And because essential oils go deep into the cellular body, deep into our DNA, they can change negative genetic expression when we combine it with deep feeling. So it's not to say that I'm going to apply RC and suddenly start believing in myself. No, no, no. You want to use the essential oils consciously, constructively when you repair these emotions through tapping. And through the conscious application with deep feeling, the oils will take care of the rest, because these are little divine instruments of emotional transformation. So it's important to be conscious and constructive with your words when you're using RC and Raven. My favorite oil for confidence, courage, I can is balsam fir. So for example, when I wake up in the morning, I hydrate, I have an elixir, I come into my office, I focus on my dreams and visions, and I just take a couple drops of balsam fir, and I just start to say prayers and affirmations, and I start to rub the oil in my head, and I start to rub a little bit on my neck, and I just take a few deep breaths. And I love the smell. The balsam fir enhances my clarity, my focus, and my courage for the day. And you can do that also with RC and with Raven. So I give you these three oils as an upgrade or a way to enhance I can. Thank you for that, Crystal. I almost left the oils out.
That was what you wanted to talk about.
And I have a passion for aromatherapy, and the French model of aromatherapy is what I teach because it's the most advanced model. And using the oils topically and internally can powerfully transform lymphatic congestion. And a lot of it happens through body awareness and breath. So let's talk about fear and faith. Fear is a natural emotion. Fear can show up in the form of fright, shock, dread, cloudy thinking. Like a lot of fear creates confusion. So there are many different variations of fear that can take hold of our emotional body. And fear, everyone repeat after me, I feel fear.
I feel fear.
I feel anxiety.
I feel anxiety.
I feel fear.
I feel fear.
Ask yourself which one's more powerful as a charge. I feel fear.
Fear.
I feel anxiety. I feel worried. Fear is actually what's up. There's all of the ways we can describe fear, like anxiety, worry, shock, dread. But when you're tapping on fear, use fear, because it's an energy that's the word fear brings it to the surface faster, easier, and better. So I encourage you to identify fear patterns and transform them using tapping techniques. And then fear is faith returning. Faith also comes through action. So the first thing to ask yourself about fear is, where is it showing up in the body? Fear, as a natural emotion, we all experience fear in our life, and we are here to take charge and overcome fears and have faith. And through faith, we achieve great healing, great success, great prosperity. But sometimes we get stuck in fear patterns, and that fear, when it gets suppressed long enough, can become doubt. Fear also often closes the heart and the thymus. So a lot of conditions related to thymus and autoimmune is fear. A lot of fear can constrict the kidneys around not understanding how to move forward. So kidneys, lumbar, lower back, our legs are about moving forward. And so I've seen fear show up a lot in constipation, hip problems, and kidney problems. Now in Chinese medicine, kidneys store fear, and fear is of the water element, and that's one way to look at it, and it's an accurate form. Fear also causes us to stop moving, and it can show up as constipation. When we hold on to what we feel through fear, the colon will contract. So constipation, or not having healthy bowel movements, is rooted in feeling stuck from fear. Fear also manifests itself in a variety of ways. I mean, I could really talk about fear for probably 30 more minutes. In different ways it shows up in the body. And when you start to tap through emotions, and you start tapping and gaining more emotional intelligence is understanding and appreciating how you feel and discovering a harmonious expression. So it's being able to identify and comprehend your feelings and express them healthfully, freely, like water flowing down a stream. Just let the fear come up, tap on it, and transform it. It's okay to feel fear. Everyone repeat after me. It's okay.
It's okay.
I feel fear.
I feel fear.
I can love the fear.
I can love the fear.
And let it go.
And let it go.
And notice where you feel fear in your body. As I say these words out loud, my heart begins to tighten up. And so often I feel fear here. And so let's just start tapping on fear. And so repeat after me. Even though I feel fear.
Even though I feel fear.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I can love the fear.
I can love the fear.
And let it go.
And let it go.
Keep tapping right here on the karate chop point. Even though I feel fear.
Even though I feel fear.
And you may think about something in your life that you feel fear specifically about. And when you're tapping or you're having a coaching session with me, it's going to be fear about what?
Even though I feel fear about this specific thing.
Even though I feel fear about this specific thing in my life, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Tell yourself, your emotions, it's okay. I'm okay.
It's okay. I am okay.
That helps dissolve fear right there. Because if you can say, it's okay, I'm okay, I can love the fear and let it go, now the fear starts to move again. So instead of fear being stuck or holding back, just tell yourself, it's okay, I'm okay. Tap on it. Tap right here. Say again, it's okay, I feel fear.
It's okay, I feel fear.
About this specific thing.
About this specific thing.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
I can love the fear and let it go.
I can love the fear and let it go.
All this fear in my mind and body.
All this fear in my mind and body.
I let it go.
I let it go.
Tap on the side of the eyes. All this fear.
All this fear.
About this specific thing.
About this specific thing.
I let it go.
I let it go.
Take a deep breath in. And tell yourself it's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go now.
It's safe to let it go now.
All this fear in my mind and body.
All this fear in my mind and body.
I let it go.
I let it go.
All this fear in my mind and body.
All this fear in my mind and body.
I let it go.
I let it go.
It's safe to let it go now.
It's safe to let it go now.
Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let the breath flow and faith return. And we're about to flip this fear pattern. And just keep tapping and keep breathing. Sometimes as you're touching an emotion of fear and just telling yourself it's safe to let it go is like the golden door opening up. It's safe to let this go now. I can let this go. It's safe to let this go now. So these are magical words in a tapping session. It's safe to let it go now. I can love the fear and let it go. It's safe to let it go now. I can love the fear and let it go. It's okay to repeat yourself 10, 20 times as you tap on fear, particularly if it's a deep trauma, like, fear of death or fear of losing someone you love or fear of poverty. Some of these fears go genetic, and it's based in trauma. It's based in the fear our mother had at conception, and we were imprinted with this fear. So the reason repetition is so important, and repeating it over and over again and maybe tapping on it several times, is we want to fully touch all of the fear with so much love and repetition that we can let it all go. And this is where the instantaneous healing really begins to happen, is repetition of fear about what specifically? It's safe to let this fear go now. It's safe to let it go. All this fear in my mind and body, all this fear in my mind and body, I let it go, I let it go. It's safe to let it go now. Go ahead and give yourself permission to say it a couple times, 10 times, 20 times. Tap a couple sequences through the major EFT points. All the different points we have. You may go through all of these points one full time, just feeling deeper and deeper and deeper and expressing more and more and more of the fear until you touch the entire energy packet. So for example, suppressed emotions are like weeds in your spiritual garden. And if you want to clear a negative emotional pattern that's related to a limiting belief, you want to grab that weed all the way by the root and pull that weed out, eat it, compost it, and poop it out. That was a joke, by the way. So to pull the weed out by the root and to transform fear into faith, meaning touch all of your fear with love. Keep tapping until you can feel all of your feelings. Express the fear and let it become faith. So everyone start tapping right here.
Now what oil would I use? Or when do I apply the oil?
Yeah, so the best time to start applying your essential oils before a tapping sequence is right before you begin the first karate chop point. So
right before I name it.
Right before you name it.
Okay.
Or as you're identifying the emotion and where you feel it in the body, then you can start applying your oils on the meridian and tapping points. And so my two favorite oils for fear are Valor and Sacred Mountain. And then another oil you can use for fear is Believe. There's a blend called Believe, but these are the two I have with me today. So you can take Valor, which is for self-confidence and courage, or Sacred Mountain, which really is grounding and faithful in its aroma. And you can apply these oils on the hands, karate chop point, and you can just take like a half a drop and just start rubbing them on the tapping points. And what these oils are doing as you touch and transform fear, you apply the oils to start tuning up your meridians and also helping express fear more easily and transform fear more powerfully. Essential oils directly stimulate the amygdala, which creates safety in the emotional body. Essential oils engage the limbic brain, so if there's emotions and traumas related to this fear, using Valor or Sacred Mountain can help you express the emotional trauma more easily. So let's say you want to put the Valor on your body and just rub it on and then tap on the fear. And as you tapped on the fear, now we're going to transform fear into faith.
There's one more question that'll fit in really well right here about the mechanics of tapping. Does it matter where you tap when you say certain parts of the phrases you use in tapping?
That's a great question. Does it matter where you tap when you say parts of the words? As you learn the primary word sequence that I'm teaching you, it doesn't matter where you're tapping, just that you cover all the bases. Now, that being said, as you become a more experienced tapper on yourself and with others, you're going to notice that you feel tension in certain times, more here. It's going to hurt more here sometimes in certain tapping sessions. It's going to hurt more here. You're going to feel more tension here. These are real energetic blocks that you're feeling in your body. So what I recommend you do is linger there a little bit. Do an extra 10 or 15 taps. If you're working with fear and you feel a lot of tension here or here in the body, give yourself permission to tap here a little more.
And use a few more phrases?
And use a few more phrases. maybe the same phrase or the next phrase and the next phrase. It's safe to let the fear go now. I can feel my feelings. I can love what I feel. All this fear in my mind and body, I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. It's okay. I'm okay. I let it go. I let it go.
And one more from Cassandra. Should you make sure you tap on every single tapping point?
Yes. Tap on every single primary tapping point. There are other tapping points I'll share with you later that you can use. But the reason the EFT is so universal is because these points were chosen by Gary Craig to cover most all the bases.
So these are the basics.
These are the good foundational points. And so on this chart, all these points you see here, including the karate chop point, which is where you start, these points cover most primary meridians in the body. And keep in mind, Cassandra, every point's connected to every other point. You could be doing this and still get results. Seriously. Because all the meridians are actually one energetic circuit that just flow from one meridian to the next. And if you talk to acupuncturists, they're cosmic because they understand the energetic organism of the body. And you don't really need to tap the points correctly. You just need to cover most of the bases. And because the body is an integrated, energetic, dynamic liquid crystal, you're going to be achieving great results just by covering all the bases. And so I just think that's kind of funny that, when I tell people that, yeah, just tap wherever. I mean, it's good to know the points, yet release your attachment to doing it right. Just tap on all the points. Mm-hmm. You'll get a lot done. And sometimes, as we're tapping through emotions, the blocks may be down here, maybe on the spleen point, right here. You're like, wow, that's really tender. Okay, yeah, I love on that point. Give it some positive stimulation, and then let it go. And then what's returning is faith. Fear becomes faith. And also confidence, assuredness, certainty, self-esteem, action. So faith expressed continuously upon itself becomes continuous action, which builds more faith in oneself, particularly when successes are involved.
Now let's get that faith.
So repeat after me and start tapping right here. Let's say you rubbed your Valor on, or your Sacred Mountain, or your Believe blend. You put the oils on, and now you're ready to transform the fear into faith. Start tapping right here on the karate chop point. And repeat after me. I choose to transform the fear.
I choose to transform the fear.
Of this thing specifically.
Of this specific thing.
Of this specific thing, and you can fill in that blank. I choose to transform the fear of this specific thing into my faith.
Choose to transform the fear of this specific thing into my faith.
I have faith in me.
I have faith in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I have faith.
I have faith.
In me.
In me.
I have faith.
I have faith.
In my purpose.
In my purpose.
I have faith.
I have faith.
In my healing.
In my healing.
I have faith.
I have faith.
In me.
In me.
I believe.
I believe.
In me.
In me.
Now, if you believe in a higher power or a source energy or a universal power, you can say, I believe in me, God believes in me. And if you believe in God as source, and I'm not saying this as religion, I'm just saying this, if you understand there's a source that's almighty, all power, and everywhere present, and you can use this particular word pattern, which is very powerful, only if you or the person you're working with believes in God, or God as source, all power. So I have faith in me, I believe in me, God believes in me.
I have faith in me, I believe in me.
God believes in me.
God believes.
That is so powerful for certain people to help them come into alignment. And tap right here, I have faith in me.
I have faith in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I can.
I can.
I am.
I am.
I have faith.
I have faith.
In myself.
In myself.
I believe.
I believe.
Now we're tapping this point right here. This is a bonus point that I'm sharing with you today, and it's just a really good point because it's liver. So liver and gallbladder, direct stimulation to the organs in the spleen, liver and spleen. Repeat after me. I have faith in me.
I have faith in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I have faith in myself.
I have faith in myself.
I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
I can do this.
I can do this.
And I choose to make it fun and easy.
And I choose to make it fun and easy.
Rub your hands together. This is a way of integrating your tapping session. You can also tap the top of the head and take 3 deep breaths. And so conscious breathing at the end of every tapping session, whether you're kind of rubbing your hands together or tapping the top of the head, conscious breathing anchors positive emotional change. So at the end of every tapping session, when you have transformed fear into faith and you've tapped in, I have faith in me, I have faith in myself, breathe deeply in silence for about 3 to 6 to 9 breaths, and that will help anchor positive change. Ending with the breath in silence tells your limbic system of your body that this is done, and I accept it done. And breathing deeper still, and breathing deeper still, and breathing deeper still anchors that positive expression of I have faith in me, I believe in me, God believes in me, I believe in me, I have faith in me, I have faith in myself. Now I want to talk a little bit about me and myself. One is not better than the other, use them both. When you say I have faith in me is subconscious, which is sometimes more powerful in the word, in the conscious languaging of the return of faith. When you say I have faith in myself, that's conscious mind. Me, subconscious, myself, conscious. I is connected to the qualification of I am that I am. So when you say I have, that's I am, have faith in me, that's alignment of the 3 levels of yourself in languaging. That is something to contemplate. That when you say, I have faith in me, with enough feeling, if there's a genetic pattern of doubt or I can't or fear, it's over. Because when I am enters I have faith in me, which is your subconscious, and you come into alignment with that statement, with deep feeling, you can and will create instantaneous healing. And this is where the rubber meets the road, because each one of you will discover this in your own way. I've discovered it for me as a practitioner, as one who's helped people transform fears and traumas, particularly traumas early in life I've seen transformed instantaneously before my eyes. I've seen instantaneous healing using these techniques, and it comes through deep feeling and deep alignment of I am, have faith in me, myself. And it's being able to speak our words with deep feeling. One of the secrets of affirmation with power is when you can feel the meaning of your words deeply enough, you will have instantaneous manifestation in your body. When you can repeat those words with faith, with action, you will have manifestation in your life experience. So the change happens inside with alignment of the 3 selves, and then through actions, the right actions, builds more faith. So as a coach, as you're coaching yourself or coaching others, as soon as you move a fear pattern and transform it into faith, then what you want to do is create an action plan that's simple and easy to commit to. And so if someone has a lot of fear and doubt up, you want to create faithful actions that are big enough to get the client excited, small enough that they believe they can attain it. So you don't want to give them too many things to do, and you don't want to give them too many big things to do. The action is big enough to get them excited, small enough where they believe they can attain it. Doing those actions with repetition. For example, 5 minutes of rebounding every day. Drink 8 glasses of water every day. Do this. Do your affirmations morning and night with tapping. If that's big enough to get them excited, small enough that they believe they can attain it, in 33 to 66 days, they're going to have a more powerful faith installed in their human operating system. We literally can program our emotional body like a computer with tapping and conscious language. I've done it. I've seen it happen. It's so cool.
Here's another tapping question. Annika says she heard the karate chop point should be held at waist level. Is that correct? And if so, why?
Oh, yeah, just because your arms get tired up here, Annika.
So it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Like you want to be comfortable while you tap, spine straight, sitting or standing. So if you're tapping like this, it's just a little awkward. So the reason I do it this way in the video is to show you the point and the technique. Fingertips, karate chop. Doesn't matter which hand, they both work. a waist level is the starting point, and then you go through
natural.
these other points as you tap through the sequence. So now we talked about also Valor and Sacred Mountain for fear. Now, in the chart I've given you all, you have specific essential oils for specific emotional patterns. And so I'm just giving you highlights. You refer to your chart for more oils and more different ways to express the frequency of faith that transforms fear. Valor and Sacred Mountain and essential oils have a frequency electromagnetically that help transform fear.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a time check for you. It's been an hour, and you did 2 tapping sessions, and I know you have a couple of other things in the pipeline, so do a check-in and see what everybody is with.
They heard you.
Oh.
Yeah, you're on the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have one more pattern to go through. Is everyone okay sticking around for another 15 minutes? I think Phyllis is. Cassandra, you can just type in the chat.
She says yes.
Okay, good. So now we're going to talk about anger and resentment.
Okay, this time do it in order with the oils.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first I'm going to talk about the physical body,
and
then I'll talk about the oils.
Perfect.
And then we'll do some tapping.
Awesome.
So, anger is a natural human emotion. Often, though, when people experience anger, we think it's wrong or bad, and we shouldn't feel anger. So the first thing with anger and resentment is to let it be okay, to express your anger. Now, ultimately, when we feel anger, it's because we're giving up our sense of personal power to another person, place, condition, or thing. So in reclaiming personal power, you do get to feel the anger. Anger is an emotion that motivates us to action. But the challenge in our healing journey is when we don't love the anger and let it go through compassion and forgiveness. If we feel anger and we don't claim our authority and through forgiveness and loving action, that anger suppresses into the liver, into the kidneys, and becomes resentment.
And thyroid?
And thyroid, too. And that's a little bit more complex relationship. So anger, unresolved, becomes irritation, frustration, aggression. These are other flavors of anger. Anger, irritation, frustration, unresolved, gets suppressed into the gallbladder or into the kidney, which then expresses as resentment. Resentment, rescinding anger backwards, suppressing the anger. Remember, anytime we suppress an emotion, subconsciously it gets expressed out as a symptom. So my job as your coach or someone who's trained in energy dynamics is to help you identify anger at what specifically, or resentment at what specifically, forgive who, how, and what way, and give so much love to the anger and resentment that now the liver and gallbladder can open up again. So people who have a lot of anger sometimes feel hopeless, and they just shut down in thyroid. Low thyroid is connected to hopelessness. Chronic thyroid issues can be connected to chronic anger, resentment, leading to basically a giving up of your personal power. You're not even choosing to choose anymore. You're way down here in 7 octaves of apathy. But really below that is I'm pissed, and I feel anger. And so anger has many, many layers that as you begin to tap on it, what's required is that you feel it. Feel your anger. Let it be okay you feel anger. Stop suppressing your will and your authority. Express the anger for a little while. And tapping is such a safe and secure way to deal with anger, because we live in a culture where anger is bad. Anger can burn. Anger can be seething, particularly if it's anger in partnership or relationship, and if it's covert anger or suppressed anger, it can burn a relationship emotionally. It can create lots of separation and resentment in partnership. So tapping is such a beautiful gift to yourself if you have inflammation in the joints, if you have chronic neck and shoulder tension, if you have vision problems. A lot of this is gallbladder related, anger becoming resentment. You know, the gallbladder, the liver opens up into the tendons, the gallbladder and liver open up into the neck, the shoulders, the eyes, and also the head. So a lot of chronic neck and shoulder tension, sharp stabbing pains in the shoulder blades, chronic inflammation in the joints, uh, quickly reactive, like chronic reactive patterns, like you're reacting to everything, is suppressed anger. All of these little symptoms are related to suppressed anger, which is connected to suppressing your will. So forgiveness is the doorway. Compassion and forgiveness is the doorway to touch anger with love and transform it. When we can feel anger and touch anger with love, it becomes compassion or forgiveness or both. When we can touch resentment with love, it becomes forgiveness, kindness, and mercy. And so tapping as a technology is a way for you to touch and transform anger and resentment. And
say those again. Anger becomes.
Yeah, anger becomes compassion, forgiveness. Resentment becomes forgiveness, kindness, mercy. And so sometimes you just get to love the anger and reverse it into compassion and forgiveness. Sometimes you get to identify, yeah, I've been resenting this person or this condition, and now it's time to resend that resentment back into love through mercy, kindness, and forgiveness. And it's I forgive. So this is where naming it before you can change it with specificity is so important. When you're dealing with the emotion of anger and resentment, it's really important that you get as specific as possible. And when you're coaching yourself or coaching others, it's not easy at first, particularly if they have a long-standing wave of hate and frustration and resentment. If they've been hating someone and resenting someone or something in their life, then you really have to coax specificity out, like anger at who, why, how, and what way. So use the they call it the 6 honest serving men. Who, what, why, how, and what way. So you want to use specificity with anger, and you want to name what you're feeling anger about while you're tapping the anger. What that does is it gives yourself permission to feel the anger and let it express itself. And then forgive, or choose compassion, have compassion. Now, compassion is defined as loving and accepting people, places, and conditions just the way they are. So that will dissolve anger. It will also, in a sense, also dissolve resentment into forgiveness. So compassion and forgiveness are really two sides of the same coin. When you become very good at compassion, you become automatically forgiving, even if someone does something to you that you perceive they did it to you. So let's start just tapping on anger. Now, a lot of people are going to feel anger in the throat, tension in the head, memories of anger. A lot of tension in the head is old memories. People may feel anger in their lower back about not feeling supported. They may feel anger in the shoulder blades about burdens, the burdens we carry. Anger can show up anywhere in the body because a lot of it's related to how we feel in relationship. So remember, specificity brings feeling. So repeat after me. I feel anger.
I feel anger.
And the oils we want to use with anger are going to be release, inner child, and forgiveness. So inner child and forgiveness, very powerful oils for anger. Hence, Gary made an oil for that called forgiveness. But also inner child, I love using for anger because inner child is about connecting to the compassionate, sweet, innocent aspect of our emotional body. Every one of us is wired to have compassion and love from our childlike nature. Children forgive very easily. And so inner child and forgiveness and the blend release applied over the liver. So you may take these oils, put them on the liver, put them on the hands, apply them on these points, and get into your anger. Feel it, love it, let it go. Even though I feel anger.
Even though I feel anger.
About this specific thing.
About this specific thing.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And here, if you're angry at a person in your life, you can say, I choose to love and accept this person.
I choose to love and accept this person
just the way they are.
just the way they are.
That's compassion. Top of the head, even though I feel anger
Even though I feel anger
about this specific thing,
about this specific thing,
it's okay I feel anger.
it's okay I feel anger.
On top of the eyes, I can love the anger and let it go.
I can love the anger and let it go.
Side of the eyes, it's okay I feel anger. I love it and I let it go.
It's okay I feel anger. I love it and I let it go.
All this anger in my mind and body,
All this anger in my mind and body,
I love the anger and I let it go.
I love the anger and I let it go.
I choose to love, honor, and accept this person
I choose to love, honor, and accept this person
just the way they are.
just the way they are.
I forgive them.
I forgive them.
Under the nose, I choose to love and honor them just the way they are.
Choose to love and honor them just the way they are.
And I forgive them.
And I forgive them.
Now, when you're using the oils mentioned, the aroma of these oils is actually bringing a frequency of love, a frequency of sweetness and kindness into the body. They're very, very powerful. Essential oils applied with this emotional pattern create miracles because they have a frequency that is the antithesis of anger. Because of their aroma and their vibration, they really help you transcend anger and resentment very quickly and easily. So I just want to bring that into the mix as we tap. Repeat after me. I choose to love and honor this person
I choose to love and honor this person
just the way they are.
just the way they are.
I forgive them.
I forgive them.
And I let all of this anger go.
And I let all this anger go.
Now.
Now.
It's safe to let it go now.
It's safe to let it go now.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
And I let it go.
And I let it go.
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 I love and honor this person just the way they are.
I love and honor this person just the way they are.
Take some deep breaths. Notice what happens in your body right now. As I'm doing this tapping with you all, I feel so relaxed and centered. I feel in alignment. It's good to practice forgiveness through tapping. It's good to touch your anger and let it go through tapping. What ultimately is what's returning is your authority. Take 3 fingers right here and repeat after me. I choose to love and honor this person just the way they are.
I choose to love and honor this person just the way they are.
I choose to love and honor them just the way they are.
I choose to love and honor them just the way they are.
Now you can fill in the blank with their name to create specificity. We're just using this person as an example. Say it again. I forgive.
I forgive.
And I choose to love and honor this person just the way they are.
And I choose to love and honor this person just the way they are.
Take 3 deep breaths. Now look at me right in the video today and just repeat after me. It is done, it is done, it is done.
It is done, it is done, it is done.
And so be it, and so it is.
And so be it, and so it is.
It is done, it is done, it is done.
It is done, it is done, it is done.
And so be it, and so it is.
And so be it, and so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
And say it again. It is done, it is done, it is done.
It is done, it is done, it is done.
And so be it, and so it is.
And so be it, and so it is.
So that is my secret scrolls of tapping. What I just shared with you right there, it is done, it is done, it is done, and so be it, and so it is. It emotionally seals the deal. When we tell our subconscious mind, it is done, it is done, it is done, but by the power of 3 times 3, and so be it, and so it is, I command and I demand it is done. And so be it, and so it is. And you can use amen if that works for you, or you can just say, and so it is. What I've discovered is that is a powerful way to anchor positive emotional change and to create more genetic transformation in the body. Because our subconscious mind hears everything we say out loud. And the secret to affirmations is when you can speak out loud with deep feeling and feel the meanings of your words deeply enough, you can have instantaneous change. And using the words, it is done, it is done, it is done, and so be it, and so it is, at the end of your tapping sessions is very, very powerful. And I encourage you to practice it and experience the power of it yourself. I have played around with different word patterns. I have ended tapping sessions in different ways, and I just give this to you as my gift. Try these words at the end of every tapping session and notice what changes in your body and in your life. Because you do have command over your emotions. When you can name anger, and anger at whose or what specifically, and forgive, and then seal forgiveness through the power of the spoken word, it can be done. And it will be done by your words. You shall be justified by your words, you shall be condemned. I won't becomes I will. Forgiveness as a feeling through tapping, through forgiving, through decreeing it is done, can be forgiving forever. So that forgiveness can flow through you now. And you may need to keep practicing compassion and forgiveness, but guess what? It gets easier the more you forgive. Forgiveness becomes easy. Until you get to a day in your life where you are automatically unconscious forgiving. And that's the day I encourage all of you to, that's the skill I encourage all of you to attain, is be automatically unconsciously forgiving to every person, place, condition, and thing, and choose to love, honor, and accept everyone just the way they are. It's no small order of business. But you remember from the Shine conference, I had the slide at the very end where I showed all the qualities of a person who was energetically balanced. And they had a strong energetic presence. They were confident. They are not easily affected by others. They're not shaken easily. They're able to communicate what they want with specificity. They manifest easily. All of this is a sign of a person who is very forgiving and has lots of authority in their life. And so there's great value in cultivating these skills for yourself and for others. So that's anger. So we talked about naming the emotion, seeing perfection, knowing that fear becomes faith, anger becomes compassion, forgiveness, resentment into kindness, mercy, forgiveness. Being able to see and visualize that, being able to speak through the entire pattern, replace and reverse the pattern with more feeling and more alignment, and create instantaneous healing in your body. And I trust you felt some healing today as we tapped. If there's something up in your life right now, we did some clearing on it. And tapping is a tool that I encourage you to use to create alignment of subconscious and conscious mind, to bring more power of the spoken word into your healing, and then also to create more long-lasting change with emotional blocks and limiting beliefs. And then if you want to take it to the next level, use essential oils. So, for those of you watching today, if you're not a Young Living member, I invite you to enroll with us. Some of those who are watching are already a member of our team, which is called the Green Living with Essential Oils team. And so I'm going to be teaching a lot more trainings on essential oils and how to use them. And so for those of you who choose to join with us today, Crystal's going to be posting some links underneath the window. And it will
Actually, I'm going to send them in your follow-up email.
And the links will be sent in your follow-up email. And so we invite you to join with us with Young Living. If you're already a member, great. Use the oils I've recommended. If you're not a member, I encourage you to enroll and make essential oils a life practice with your tapping and also with your juicing and blending. And so for those of you who choose to sign up and become a member with our team, we're going to send you 3 hours of free video training on emotional alchemy with essential oils, how to use everyday oils for greater health, longevity, and wellness, and how to master the art of diffusion using the ultrasonic diffusers. And so you're going to get about 3 hours of free video training when you sign up. And so Crystal is going to email you the links. It's 2 simple steps. Step 1 is watch the video teaching you how to sign up. Step 2 is a direct link to activate your membership. As soon as I see you activate your membership, I will email you all of the video trainings with specific instructions on how to get the most out of these videos. I have been using essential oils for over 15 years. I bring them into a lot of my training because they are powerful tools of change and transformation. Essential oils, taken internally, topically, and through direct inhalation, are the only tool that I've researched that touch our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies simultaneously. So particularly when it comes to EFT and tapping, it's very powerful to incorporate Young Living essential oils and the blends I've taught you. You use them because as you're applying them and breathing them in, it's penetrating your being at the deepest level. So I invite you to join as a member with us. and we'll give you lots more training so you can master the art of aromatherapy and emotional transformation with essential oils.
Great.
Are there any questions?
No, you're getting them all as we go.
Cool. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been a lot of fun. This is the first time I've ever taught this material at this level, so it's been a really awesome new understanding for myself to really teach you how thoughts, words, and feelings integrate with tapping techniques and how you can use conscious language and essential oils to really create long-lasting change and instantaneous healing in your body. So some good action steps from here is to try tapping on everything. If you feel stuck anywhere in your life, tap on it. If you feel pain in your body, tap on it. If you feel a pattern that keeps repeating itself, tap on that pattern. And then start making conscious changes at the end of every tapping session. Upgrade those patterns. And then with repetition, you will see a change in your body and in your life. There are literally tens of thousands of people who've done this already with tapping, so I don't really need to give you the testimonials. What I am giving you is a call to action to try on everything and use it in your personal body, use it in your life, use it in your practice if you serve others, and let tapping transform your world and transform the worlds of others. Remember, what we can feel, we can heal. And everything that comes into our life is drawn into our life by what we feel, consciously and subconsciously. Come into alignment with tapping, empower your healing, empower your feeling, and transform your life. And thank you for watching today, and I will see you in the next week. Same time, Tuesday, for Transforming Genetic Patterns. We're going to go deeper into tapping and talk about 2 very important genetic patterns to upgrade with tapping. So thank you for watching. My name is Arttemis, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.
Bye.